Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here talking to you from Kabukicho today, and it's not actually night. So again, I feel like that's rare. Making videos about Japan and Kabukicho when it's not night and crazy shit is going on is probably rare. If you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. I dropped my phone recently, so support the cracked phone. So I made a video before talking about the gentle sadness of Japan. I've actually made like many videos talking about that, right? But so I want to talk about that a little bit more, and I've also talked about sort of a dark side of Japan. And I want to talk about how is Kabukicho getting more dangerous, actually. And I bring that up because now this year when I'm here, they've actually closed off the square, where all the Toyoko kids used to hang out, I guess now. So now they're basically all just on a certain side of the road, right? So they have less area to move, let's say, or be. And it seems like because they're all squished in such a smaller area and they don't have as a big square to do what they do, it seems to me it's getting a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more rambunctious and a little bit more dark, I would say. Like, let's say this. In the past 24 hours, I've seen multiple people just passed out in the middle of the road, just like right here in the middle, well, on the backside of me. Passed out in the middle of the road. I saw one guy basically foaming at the mouth. He was like, he started puking. They started foaming at the mouth. He was like, holy fucking shit, dude. I saw multiple fights, which, fights aren't that rare, but I'm talking about, I saw like blood splattered all over, dude. Like, I can't believe the guy actually stood up after getting punched that hard, dude. But I mean, it looked like the guy's hand got more fucked up than the guy's face. And then the guy that got knocked out for a little bit went over there and seemingly got in another fight, and then that guy was all fucked up. And then there was another guy. I'm not joking. This is all within 24 hours. I don't know who beat this guy up. I don't know who beat him up, but his face was smashed in. Then at the top of the Marzen, there was just multiple people just passed out in the fucking toilet straight on the ground. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. This isn't that bad things don't happen at all. I've seen, some dark things about Japan and my time in Japan, and I've made videos talking about it, especially like that guy collapsing on the train. And like I said, only 4 people even stood up to help him, and that was one including me. And even when this guy started like foaming at the mouth, there's only a few people that stood up to help him, right? It was just, and a lot of people, they just took pictures. They just took pictures and thought it was funny. Oh, and then there's the one girl, if here, so there's this one girl, I think her name's like Aoi-chan or whatever. She's like the homeless girl. And I said before, this is actually where I saw her butt naked, just titties blasting, butt naked, passed out there, the homeless girl. So if you don't know that girl's story, apparently her story is that I talked a little bit about it before, but I didn't know exactly how she became famous. So what happened, how famous, I say that loosely, right? Infamous. So I guess she had all her, the story is apparently that the host boys took all her money and she lost her house and everything. She just put all the money on the host boys and she just became homeless, and she like went crazy from losing all her money to the host boys. And oh man, I actually saw her. I've never seen her have a breakdown like that, but she was going like crazy on the rails, like yada yada yada. And she started like spazzing out. And, like, people were just like watching, like, oh my god, like, what is going on, dude? It was not a good it was not a good situation, but no one really went to help her. They just kind of looked at her and started filming her how crazy she was going. Anyway, this is like the past in just like 24 hours, dude. And maybe I don't know. So I talked to like say Infinity and stuff like that, and some of the other guys here. And I'm like, do you think it's getting more dangerous here now that they closed off the square? And he's like, no, I don't really think so. And he's like, you probably just miss all the fights all the time. So I don't know. I guess maybe. My hotel's in Kabukicho now. I'm going around to random hotels. I have hotel credits, so that's what I'm doing right now in the area. But I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more dark now. And this is the long forward. It's already been 5 minutes while I say that. You know, I said before talked about the sort of like gentle sadness of Japan. You know, how I noticed even my very first trip that I first came to Japan, what would be like 7 years ago or something like that, you started noticing that once you get to this like certain age group in Japan, that people don't look happy anymore. You have this like certain young group where Japan, especially if you're in the suburbs, people are more happy than like, it's like something you've seen out of a movie. Like they're skipping with their parents. It's super innocent, super peaceful, you know, a very innocent vibe, right? It's very cutesy. But then you start to see as people get a little bit older, like that little spark in their eyes, you know, that little happiness, it really starts to leave, right? And I've been noticing a lot more people in this area that have that defeated kind of look. And I've also, and of course, you know, a lot of people, I don't know exactly what all the popular drugs are in Japan because I don't do drugs, but I know one time I went home with the girl and there's just cough medicine everywhere. And that was about a couple years ago or something, the trip I was at, and I was like, oh man, she like left all this like cough medicine here. And so seemingly a lot of people, I can only assume it's like, you know, people get fucked up on cough medicine in America. It's probably something like that, but I see people just fucked up out of their mind all the time. Like just, oh, I mean, okay, I forgot, past 24 hours, just multiple girls just, not, oh, so I said some of the girls were just like passed on the street and guys, but I also just saw like foreigner girls just passed out on the street, dude. Just like completely messed up, dude, just. And you know, that's something too, like I see a lot of fucked up foreigners in the area too, which I don't remember seeing in other years. I don't know if it's gotten worse, if the, you know, I would assume there's certain kind of drugs, you know. I know people smoke weed, what they say. I mean, I don't know where you get it because I don't smoke, but you know, I've certainly have heard, and I met a guy who said he went to jail for smoking weed for 2 months. So I would say tread lightly, whatever you're going to do in Japan. But I see a lot of like fucked up people that don't look good and they look sad. And it's kind of like, it's pretty depressing, dude. And like I said, I'm surprised to see the darkness in so many foreigners. You would think that the foreigners would be more happy, but I've met some what I would say are pretty negative foreigners, right? Like I met this one guy and his vibe was so bad it kind of made me uncomfortable. Like he's kind of weird. And I talked to some other people about him too. And they're like, oh yeah, that guy, don't worry about him. He's a total like a shithead. He's always lying about everything. It sounds like the only reason he has any kind of like clout in the area is because he's made up a lot of stories and always moving to the next story to get some sort of notoriety or something like that, which could very well be true because when I saw him when he wasn't in a group, I mean, he looked a little suspect. And when I tried to say hi to him, he was very kind of standoffish and acting weird. And I don't know. He was you know, some people give you kind of a weird vibe. Like, I don't know if I would trust that guy. And he gave me the kind of vibe that I don't know if people really hang out with him because they all do drugs together or if they actually like him. That's the kind of vibe I got from the guy. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't. I guess you'd have to see him. But I don't know. He's given me a weird vibe the few times I've seen him. But he also looks really down. And one of the only times I tried to talk to him about anything, he's like, I hate Japan. It sucks. I hate Japan. It sucks here. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, why do you even like Japan? Blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, calm down, dude. Like, if you hate it here, I don't know. Like, if you hate it here, then leave. Like, he seems like one of those guys, too, that I saw him hanging out with this girl who might have been an escort. And I was like, I don't know, dude. I think you better enjoy Japan while you can because I don't think you're going to be... I don't think you're going to be getting that in America unless you pay for it too, dude. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I'm definitely feeling a little bit of darkness in Kabukicho, a little bit more than I have in other times. People just seem really fucked up and really out of it, more so than they did last year. And I'm wondering if it's because they closed them all in on this area. And I don't know, man. It's I'm not sure how to explain it. It's kind of sad though. I feel like it kind of makes me feel out of place too because whenever, well, I mean, my hotels are here, so I don't mind hanging out here, but I feel like I'm one of the only people that is not fucked up. You know what I mean? And I don't know, dude. There's a darkness too. Like you'll see, like sometimes you'll see some of the girls or guys, they're happy when they're fucked up, but then instantly, they'll be crying another time, or they're just totally out of it. Like, I don't know. I don't remember people being so fucked up in other years. It's just the other times they're just way, way more fucked up, man. And I don't know. So do I have any other Kabukicho stories to tell? So, I talked about that, I'll stand up if they want to move it. So I did we were talking to some like officers and everything like that, and I've talked about how apparently the story is the old leader got killed in a prison, and he kind of confirmed it, kind of didn't, because we were all talking about it, and he kind of gave the thing. Well, he's like, I cannot confirm how he was killed, but yes, he was killed, but I can't confirm it, kind of thing. And it was like, okay. And we're kind of like, well, how do you think he died? And they're like, I can't say how he died, but we have an idea how he died, and I can't confirm if he died, but yes, he died, kind of thing. And so it sounds like, I said the story before from what I heard. And the thing is, though, the officers were saying that everybody liked him. He was a really well-respected guy in this area. And people, and we tried to ask, like, well, what do you think happened? And it's kind of ambiguous because, he was just apparently, he was fucking everybody, it sounds like. Which is, whatever. I mean, when in Rome, I guess, right? So, I mean, of course, lots of people are fucking everybody here, right? So, some people think that maybe he just fucked some higher up, like one of the girls had a higher up mom and she got pissed and had him killed or something like that. And then some other people were also saying that, we were talking to the officers, and there's a group of us, and they're saying, well, it could be he just had some ties to the Yakuza, and the Yakuza were afraid that he might leak some kind of secret or something, and so the Yakuza had someone in there and had him killed. And they're like, it wasn't that he was like a not liked guy. He was a really liked guy, which is always weird because it's strange to hear about that stuff happen. It's weird that you can like hear a story about a guy that people are like, I've never heard a bad story about him. They're like, he took care of everybody. He took care of all the girls. He took care of everybody here. He was like the super well respected. He kept everybody fed. It's like, yeah, he was fucking everybody, but it wasn't a big deal to anybody because everyone just like loved the guy. And then you hear, but basically somebody had him killed. So, and there are some Yakuza stories that I hear, not a lot, but talking to the officers again too, and like there's other people too, because basically talking to the officers are basically what you would hear from like random people, right? It's kind of like, we can't exactly say what happened, we have an idea that happened, but we can't really tell you, kind of thing. So I guess it's up for you to assume. But because I was asking like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen? And they're like, I think he said something like, I can't confirm, but yes, I've seen somebody was killed. It's like, oh shit. And they're like, I can't confirm that yes, I saw somebody stabbed to death. It's like, holy shit, right? And so there's another story like, I cannot confirm, but yes, one of the Yakuza took one of the girls here, and she was so fucked up on drugs that she died while they were having sex or something. Apparently the story is. And then the Yakuza guy went to whoever his leader was, and so the leader then had him killed. He's like, I can't confirm if that happened, but there's a story. It's like, Jesus, okay. So, but the police, like I said, the police don't really do anything here. Like even these fights that I saw, as we see some doggies over there, that was very rare for me to see the police run so fast. But oh my God, the blood. Dude, the blood, and it was like normally, people don't really do anything. It's very rare to see the police do anything, and it's rare for the police to do anything because apparently, the story is that the Yakuza still have a lot of ties to this area, and from what I understand, it was in the 80s or the 90s, apparently, that the Yakuza had the entire police station killed at one point. Apparently, the story is. And so after that, I guess the police officers are like they tread very lightly in this area, just to not step on any toes. I feel like the police officers are really, but even that's in Shibuya. I see that in Shibuya when people get in fights. It's very rare. Like you got to do something really, really crazy to get in trouble. You got to really, really push your luck. but they're almost just like moderators, like, hey, come on, like tone it down kind of thing, you know. But so yeah, so I just thought that was interesting because I heard that story about the leader guy last time I was here, and he must have been here when I guess it was happening during COVID, because I don't remember the guy, and he's very, looking at his pictures, he was a very like he stood out, you know what I mean. Do I hear any other stories? I mean, just a lot of the same vibe that I've talked about before, I guess. You know, I was talking to one of the girls, which is kind of sad. So I told that one story of that girl that I was with that I couldn't even do it, right? When she started crying because I got worried. And dude, this is actually sad. And this is why I said it. Because I was like, oh man, I wonder if she thinks that like, I thought she wasn't hot or something. And then she thought, oh, I'm not hot. And maybe she's going to go kill herself or something like that. And even sadder, she was like, that's a possibility. And I was like, oh, dude, that is so fucking dark, right? Because like I said, I heard that story of that, and that was, you know, those girls asked her, the girl asked her quotation marks friends, how do I kill myself? And then she went and killed herself right there, which is just insane, right? So I just feel like more dark stories like that, which is sad. But I don't know. I feel a little bit of the sadness. It makes me worried about people here. It didn't feel, it kind of just seemed like, you know, people running away from their problems a little bit. And, which everybody kind of runs away from their problems maybe at some time. But it seems to be getting really bad whenever, just this past couple of weeks that I've been here, I just feel like the darkness a little bit more. And I guess other stories too, I did hear that sometimes, which I was kind of surprised to find out that, you know, sometimes people are hurt, like the girls or something like that. And I was like, well, who hurts the girls? I mean, we were talking to this group, and one of the girls was like, oh, well, what happens is you might be surprised, but it's actually the boys. So it's like, it's not like say, you know, if they're like doing some kind of like escort stuff or something like that. It's actually like, sometimes, you know, they have sex with just, you know, the other boys, whatever is going on, and then they're all fucked up, and they hurt each other. And it just seems weird because, you know, a lot of the Japanese guys are very, they're not very, you know, they're not exactly like threatening looking most of the time, you know what I mean? So then you see like, to think that like a little Japanese guy is hurting, well, I guess an even littler Japanese girl, that's also very sad to think about. But, I don't know, man. Kabukicho is, again, I feel like it's a little more dark than it has been before to me. And I feel like it's because they took away the square, and so everyone has to sort of mingle with each other like more and more. So if you're mad at your friend and that's another thing too, you will see people fight 1 minute and then they'll just come back and they're friends again. It's weird, dude. And, you know, now there's no like, oh, hey, we have this big square to walk around if we're mad. If I'm mad, I'm only like so many feet away from you, so I'm gonna like take it out on you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like getting rid of the square has kind of made it a little bit more volatile, a little bit more dark and sad. Anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.